Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 49. We don't give a shit about anything. Well, no, LB's got the quality. I've taken the quality away and I've given it to LB. This week's topic is going to be PAX East. Everyone went there except for all of us. Tiff was the only one. But we did have some people go, which is kind of cool. But we'll get into that in a second. But first, before we do, the man with the plan, brightly lit, shining like a beacon of hope to gamers everywhere. LBSUTK. What's up, buddy?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show.
I like your lamp.
Oh, yeah, I got a new lamp. Went a little high-tech. Went to the Target, as they say.
The French
I wouldn't say high-tech.
Oh, always
For LB, it is high-tech.
Yeah.
And the man speaking high-tech, the man that knows everything about tech, he's got a green screen, so you can take him extremely seriously. Any man with a green
Tech
screen.
Man.
Yeah.
I just changed my name from Hitman to Tech Man.
Tech Man. He's from Canada, a country we love. It does no wrong. It's our favorite place on earth.
Yes.
Hitman. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, guys? Doing good?
How are things? How's the green screen working out for you?
Good. I just had it down. I just put it up.
Really?
Yeah, I had a LAN on Saturday at my place, and I took it down. I put it back up after cleanup.
How does that work? Is it like on a track or something? Like how you hang
it's
it?
actually just hooks. The blanket it's just a blanket, right?
Right.
And it's got grommets in it, and I just hang the blanket with the grommets.
So it's like a shower curtain?
Kinda, yeah. It's got 4 grommets.
Oh,
It's like a banner almost.
Interesting. All right, let me know where I can pick one of those up.
Yeah. We'll talk later for sure.
We'll talk later. And the only one that actually went to PAX, the only real gamer left in this entire freaking barrage of people.
Someone has to.
Someone's got to do it. Tiffany, electrify Fari. Well, soon the Fari may be going away. Are you keeping the Fari? What's going on with
I
that?
am not keeping the Fari. It is
Wow.
going away. Yep.
Wow.
Nolan is so much easier to say,
It
so
kinda is.
that's what I'm going with.
It is. That's smart. Do it for the speech reasons. That's good.
Exactly.
I like that. That's a good reason. So you were at PAX. How did it go? I guess before we get into the meat of it, how was the trip itself? Like not the games or anything, but how was the event?
trip to PAX?
Well, your trip to PAX is what, like 14 minutes?
No, it was like 45.
Oh, that's good. That's good enough. But how was just the experience of the show this year? How did you like it so far?
It's always great. I was a little worried that there wasn't going to be a lot of things on the floor, and there definitely wasn't as much, even though there was a lot more of what I would call the indie games.
Right.
But there was still plenty of things to see, and there was still plenty of hype about some big games.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I kind of had the same concern because they obviously, everyone knows that these consoles are coming out and there's this big push getting ready for E3. So it's kind of like no one can show what they really want to show. I'm sure the developers were like, we've got this game we really want to give you, but they can't do anything about it. So
Exactly. Yeah, we stopped by the Harmonix where they were showing Dance Central 3, and you could tell they're just bursting, just waiting to tell what they're working on and what's going on. And, they had their canned response when asked what they're working on. It's like, video games.
Right, yeah. We make games. We do games from time
Video
to time.
games. Yep, we're making video games.
Well, that's cool. We'll get into exactly what you saw and what we thought of PAX. But before we do, LB, site news. What's going on Tool to Play this week, buddy?
Well, we're kind of waiting for an update of the Too Old to Play versus World Tournament Mixer for Halo 4.
Oh, that was about 8 months ago. I remember that.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Wayman posted in the forum that he apologizes for the delay, but he's got some life stuff going on. He did just get a new computer that, so he doesn't have to use his phone anymore. Plus, he's coaching like 9 hockey teams and like 4 curling teams, and then there's like 6 after school things. I don't know, but he's got a lot going on. So he promises as soon as that kind of clears up a little more time, he's going to put up our Team 8 in the number 1 spot.
Nice. That sounds good. What else?
We totally won. Yeah,
Well,
I don't even know
won
why
anyway.
we need
That's
to
why
see the
I don't-
results.
yeah,
Obviously,
Why do we
come
got to wait
on.
around for results when we already know the answer?
Exactly.
So what else is going on with what's going on with Gears and all that stuff?
Well, we've got Hitman with the Gears of War Judgment and the BioShock Infinite quick looks are up at the YouTube site. So if you want to check those out, click on them, subscribe, and approve.
Yeah, and approve.
Whatever it's called.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like it, whatever. Facebook.
But he's got them up. So I got a chance to check out the Gears one. I liked it. Haven't checked the BioShock one yet, so I'm looking forward to that. But they're looking good.
They are looking good, Hid. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
And a lot of people
Any input is also welcomed.
and a lot
You
of
wanna
people
comment
were
in
saying
the comment section? Go ahead.
Yeah, I wish I had comments. I haven't had a chance to watch them yet.
they said I've gotten some of the feedback. People saying they actually don't mind that it's longer, but I think what is the one thing they said they wanted another person to sort of chat with you, or which I thought was a good idea. But I
Yeah,
actually
I'm
like
totally gonna do that. Let's do it. Hit.
You guys can do it. I
That's
believe
not a
you.
bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
All right.
I just I can't do them at
little-
midnight though.
little
That's
back
a little
and
late
forth.
for me. Like midnight on a Tuesday.
That's when Hit does. It's like 3:30 in the morning.
I
It's like
know.
Wednesday. He's like, let's play, guys. And
time
you're
does
like,
not work for me.
No.
I need my beauty sleep.
Exactly. No, but it looks. I really do like it. I think you're doing some good shit. So, and we got to get you like your own little channel and stuff on the site, so people can just sort by that. So that'll be the next thing to do. But yeah, like LB said, always go to YouTube. What is it? YouTube.com/duel2players or something before that. I don't know. But anyway,
No, I think it's
I think it is. Yeah.
I think.
Is that
But
it, or is it /user?
It might be /user/duel2play. But anyway, we don't know. We don't really care that much. But if you do figure it out somehow and you get to our channel, subscribe to it because we need you to. Because I don't know, it makes us feel like we have huge egos and we can, feels like we're driving Lamborghinis every time you hit subscribe, right? No, nobody.
That's,
Yep.
yeah.
What else is going on the site? Anything cool happen at all, LB? Anything?
Well, apparently there's this guy Duty on the site that was on a little show or something, some Huffington Post show.
It's a
or
little
something.
website.
Never heard of it.
No one's
Yeah.
heard of Huffington Post.
Don't know what that is. What was that, Jay?
We're all super Republican here. No one even goes to that piece of shit liberal crap. Anyway, yeah. So the Huffington Post gave me a ring, and when I was supposed to go with LB, they totally dissed him because it was like a too many tool to plays in one basket sort of situation. And they said which one would be better for the show, and I said LB for sure.
Oh,
And, they
I
said
don't
no.
think that's really what you said.
Absolutely not.
Thank
And
you for the kind lie,
he
dude.
got
Kind lie.
he got sick, and I had to swoop in at the last minute and do the show. No, but they did a show about older gamers and whether or not they thought there were any health benefits, which, for our community, I don't know if that totally matters to us, but it was still a cool perspective to give. I think for us, the thing that I kind of tried to bring forth was that the health benefit is that we are social human beings and we actually get to hang out with other people. But it was really, really fun, and I don't want to leave these two people out. Logan Decker, the editor-in-chief of PC Gamer Magazine, was so nice. After the show, said he loved Tool to Play, couldn't believe it was an idea that no one had done before, which there are several older gamer sites, but I think him knowing that we're out there and doing well made him really pleased. So he was fantastic to hang out with. And then of course, Jess Condit, she is the Joystick senior reporter. She was the other one on the show that we talked to. And then there was like a 60, no, not, she was in her 60s, 58-year-old gamer, Nadine.
Oh my God.
I
She was
mean,
a trip.
She was a
Like, I have no
trip.
idea how you held it together.
We didn't. We did. So because during the whole thing, they give us chat to talk to one another. And, as she was talking, we're just like, oh my God, this is amazing. So, and it really, it really was, but it's good to know that there's people out there doing it. The thing that I didn't like, I guess the way it was perceived or the way I saw it was kind of like, oh, if you're her age, all you do is play card games and Facebook games and stuff like that. I was hoping that we could get someone on Deep or someone who's way older than her, or at least a couple years older than her, who's playing, hardcore FPSs. I think that shows more.
Yeah.
At least in
Yeah,
the light
definitely.
of
They made her seem like this old lady addict.
Yeah, it didn't really, right?
They did.
She has
Lady
she's
found
got a
Angry
gambling
Birds.
problem and she's it's just come on, let's not, I don't know. But it was really fun. I wish we would have had someone Deep on there that has an even better perspective of gaming and community and stuff like that. But overall, I would do it again in a heartbeat. And like I said, Logan Decker, man, what a great dude. What a great dude. He gave us props on Twitter. And who was it hit that retweeted us? This is how out of the loop I am of who these people are. But who was it?
It was Gary Whitta. He's a pretty famous writer. I think he started off in the editorial section and then worked his way up into creative. He wrote stuff like the Telltales of Walking Dead and Will Smith's movie coming out after
Yeah, he did some
Earth.
different movies.
Yeah, he's a pretty well-known writer.
He did that Eli's movie, right? With
I think he did
Yeah,
Book of Eli.
that
Yeah,
sounds right.
Yeah, Book of Eli. So that was like huge validation for us, right? Like it was really cool to see him say like, "Oh my God, Tool to Play, this is super cool. This interests me," which I thought was really cool. I actually retweeted him back and said, "Hey, if you want to come right on the show, you can talk to Tiff. She'll hook you up.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, nice.
Feel free to write some articles, buddy. No problem.
Yeah.
In case you're bored, not a big deal." So that was cool. And if you want to check it out right now, it's on the sort of user alert thing on Tool to Play. I'll move that off in a little bit and maybe like do a little story or something like that. But if you missed it, you can go to the site right now and check it out. It was a lot of fun, and it was good times. Do we have anything else?
You did a pretty good job, though.
Did you think
I have
so?
to say.
Did you like me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I was
always
gonna
surprised
say-
about how intelligent you can sound
Yeah.
when you want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called faking it. That's what it's called.
Jay and I, before the show, we were kind of talking and have a little Google Hangout and everything like that, and we were talking about a specific subject, and they kind of touched upon it in the show. And as soon as they said it, I went to my phone and I
Oh, it's
texted
bad.
him. I'm like, "Don't say this!
Yeah.
Don't say it!" And he was kind of leaning that way,
Oh,
and
I
I'm
heard
like, "He's not."
No, I
gonna
saw
do
it. I saw
Oh
it.
my God.
People were like sending me messages like the whole time, like, "You're a douchebag, you suck. Oh, you're gonna fuck this up."
Oh
You're
my
Oh yeah.
God.
And here's the best part: they were from my family. Yeah. Yeah. 68-year-old dad was like, "You suck at life. Ha ha ha. Video games, you're a pussy. Ha ha ha." So, you know. Oh well, what are you gonna do? But yeah, it was a super fun time, and I hope they let us come back. That would be great.
That'd be good.
I think so.
Yeah. And then finally, what else is on there?
We've got Tiff's wonderful article about the prevention of getting the PAX pox or any gaming convention virus. So it's on the front
Yes.
page. Give it a read. I read it. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I was a little disappointed you didn't mention any echinacea thrown in there for a little bit of help.
Oh,
Oh, echinacea.
yeah,
A little
that's
bum.
gross. But no. No, it was just, three things that I usually do when I try to go to these events. I'm not normally a germaphobe, and I've seen so many people become deathly ill at these events that I don't ever want to get any of that.
Yeah. And you never,
Yeah.
I feel like you never do get sick. I always get sick when I go home. Always. So,
I'm doing well so far.
Yeah,
I'm
cross your
kind
fingers.
of in the post PAX week, which is the
Incubation period.
yes, exactly, the incubation period. So I feel like if as long as I make it through till the weekend, I should be good to go.
nice.
The best thing about after a convention like PAX is watching Twitter. Like if you go on Twitter right now, everyone that came back from PAX is like, "I'm not feeling that great today."
Yeah.
They're like, this herpes.
Like
I
you
can't
didn't read
shake.
Tiff's article, did you?
Yeah, I was gonna say you should have read the Tips article.
That's why you got to go to tooltoplay.com.
And I think why it works for me too is because I don't follow any of those steps any other time. So
right.
so my body, getting that extra vitamin C and the extra nutrients and
It's like, damn, what's going on?
yeah,
What's all
exactly.
this good stuff?
Exactly.
You
It's
shock
like,
the disease
Where's
out
the
of you.
where's the alcohol? I'm like, no, that comes later.
I like that. You're building a foundation. That's what you're doing. It's great.
Yes,
Yeah. You
exactly.
build walls. I like that. All right, Hit. Well, what's going on this week in new releases? Let's have you handle that for us.
This week in new releases, basically just one big game. It's BioShock Infinite. BioShock Infinite is a first-person shooter where players assume the role of Agent Booker DeWitt, who has been sent to the flying city of Columbia to rescue a girl named Elizabeth, who's been imprisoned there since her childhood. You can check out my quick look on the Tool to Play YouTube channel. And basically, yeah. And the next game's Tiger Woods 14, but
Yeah, we don't
No.
like to talk about that.
yeah, just Tiger Woods, whatever.
Yeah. If you feel like giving EA money, just go out into the back of your house and just burn it. Just go out there, get a bunch of money, pile it together, put it next to like an EA like effigy, and just set that bitch on fire. That's what you should do. That's how you play Tiger Woods. Congratulations, you've played it. So what is everyone playing? This week I played Defiance Beta. And LB, you said you had I had no problems playing it. I actually really, really enjoyed it. Given like the storyline and stuff like that, I didn't do any of the PvP, but I played that this weekend. And I had a pretty good. I'm actually kind of stoked for this game.
Well, I had a couple different issues of not only one just trying to get in, where they're like, well, the servers are down or you can't get in. I'm like, all right, beta, moving on. That's how it is. But then there was times I actually got into the game and I'm going around doing a couple of quests, and then all of a sudden, bam, I got kicked, and I'm like, all right, beta, move on. That's just how it is. So I'm not like, oh, fuck this game, it's horrible. It's a beta, but once you're in and you get to play, it's actually not too bad. I was having a good time with it.
Yeah, and you're not the super MMO player. Although now you're starting to like get some MMOs under your belt here. You're like, I don't know, you're borderline. You're borderline. But
I'm trying some new things.
It's sort of like I don't know, for me it felt like an MMO just because there was a lot of people running around, but it still has that feel of a single player game because I feel like the questing in it of itself pushes you into a storyline, so it's not as, I don't know. There's not a lot of community, but I mean, it is a beta, so it's hard to kind of get that feeling since there's no guilds or anything. But it did sort of kind of feel like you just went off on your own, did a bunch of shit, and there just so happened to be people around you. Like you didn't really interact with anybody, and it really didn't kind of bring you together. But the gameplay itself was rather fun. So I mean, I kind of dug it. I don't know.
So which character did you create? Which one did you?
I don't even know. I literally did like this random. I was like some chick. I had some nice cans, and I went away and I went around and just shot people. That's what I did. I had a shotgun and a pistol. I didn't even know. I didn't even know you could
went
choose.
with the shotgun.
Oh, really? I didn't know there was a choice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I also went with the female with the.
Of course you did.
Nice proportions upstairs. If you know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
But she.
Tiffany is like literally shaking her head in disgust. It's literally.
But she also had,
Biting
like,
my tongue.
It's coming. I feel it. It's like. But I had the machine gun, and then for my main perk is the one where it buffed your damage.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, I like the damage, but I like the stealth one. The shotgun, you could go stealth mode and almost like a rogue from other MMOs, and just like walk up behind someone and like come out of the stealth and be like, bam, shoot you in the face, and then go back stealth. So I like that. I really had a good time. What about you, Hit? You were playing some of that SimCity and stuff? What are you doing?
Yeah, I played a little bit of SimCity, but I think I'm going to take a little break from that game.
Already?
And,
it's been like 3
days.
Because
I'm still having server issues.
Wow.
Like they still haven't really fixed that game, and it's like stuff that I just can't go without. Like I'm buying power from power, water, and sewage from other cities, and when that stuff doesn't work because of the servers, it like breaks your city.
Oh, that's
So like I have to. I'm gonna wait it out a little bit longer, and hopefully they fix it. But
I mean, the good thing about SimCity, like I bought it. I even told Derek like on the last show, I bought it anyway, even with all the problems, because I know that SimCity is not a game that really has an end. It's a game you just kind of play whenever you feel like playing it. Play it for an hour, play it for 7 hours, play it for 15 minutes. So I mean, I understand it's EA and we should again burn effigies as much as we can, but I love SimCity and I'll wait it out. I mean, I know I shouldn't. I know I should keep those dollars and use it as a lesson to them, but I don't know. I'm a sucker, dude. I'm a sucker for an IP. Sure. It's terrible. Shit. Well, what were you playing, Tiff? Well, you were at PAX, so.
I played lots of stuff.
Yeah. Played everything.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, jeez. Thanks. Rub it in.
Okay, next. No.
I played every game. So
I played every game in the world.
Yeah.
No, did get to some hands-on with a lot of games, but I don't want to spoil our main segment for the show.
Okay. Fair enough.
Other than that, Derek and I have this ongoing crazy battle in Zen Pinball where each of us gets the highest score on a table, and then the other person spends the next 2 days trying to beat it.
Oh, I love that.
So obviously he cannot let me have a higher score than him.
Right. That'd freak me out.
And it's just an ongoing crazy battle. I don't even know how much time we've wasted playing this. And literally, he will be sitting on the couch playing on the PS3, and I will be sitting right beside him with my headphones on playing on my Vita.
Jeez. Well, and he told me about that, how you can use both platforms and stuff.
Yes,
you only gotta
it's
pay
great.
Once. Yeah, that's a really cool feature. And it's good to see that you're getting some use out of the Vita too, because I think if I bought it, I wouldn't. But it seems like in your situation where you've got two different gamers, it kind of works out to your advantage, especially with like fun games like that, smaller games like that.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely, I haven't found a good hardcore game to play on it yet. But it's definitely good for some of these smaller, easy, quick play games.
It looks like I have to say I've always loved the pinball games. I don't know why. Ever since like Marble Madness, even though it's not a pinball game, but I like those types of like small games that I can kind of just tool around in. So I gotta pick it up. I don't have a PS3, nor do I have a Vita, but I know it's on the Xbox as well. Isn't it under a different name on Xbox? Like it's called Zen Pinball or something?
Yeah, it is called something else. I forget what it is. One of them is Zen Pinball, and one of them is like Pinball FX or Pinball FX2, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I wonder why they did that. I mean, that's kind of it's not good to switch your
different
brand around.
Names on all the consoles. It's very weird.
That is weird. But anyway, go check that out if you guys are bored. It's a good game, I think, to just kind of play. It's one of those games where I think you played for like 10 minutes. You think it's been 10 minutes, and then you're like 40, and you were like 30 before. And you have a
Tiff,
kid.
what is your high score, by the way?
On which table?
Ooh.
The Boba Fett one.
Boba Fett, I believe I got up to 55 million.
I thought you were going to say 1,000.
No. I think that's the one that I may still be ahead of Derek on. He hasn't quite beat that score yet.
Wow.
The Clone Wars table is probably my favorite to play just because it's so fun. And that's the one you can get the highest score on. I think he has 100 and some million, and I'm not too far behind that.
Damn, you guys are deep into that shit.
I told you. It's like it's crazy.
You're like hardcore pinball. If there was a
I
tournament,
know. I never would have
be
thought.
all over it. Wow. Insane. Anyway,
yeah, and I'm pretty sure Derek has even been watching like videos on
he's like looking at like tutorials and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like trying to find that Walshy version of like pinball where like
yes, exactly.
He's gonna take
so
tutorial
funny
lessons and shit.
He'll like come home from work and tell me, he's like, "Hey, did you know that if you do this and this and that, then you can get this?" And I'm like, "No, I just press the buttons and play it."
I smash.
Exactly.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, let's talk about the news before we get into the PAX stuff. There wasn't that much crazy news this week, obviously, because PAX is the news and most of the gaming companies were there. But one of the things that came out, and this kind of references what Hit was talking about, is EA has details about the free Origin game that's coming out, and then the actual apology letter for the disaster. Now, the thing about this is, I feel like this is like the 5th apology so far. And so I'm not really sure if it matters anymore, but you do get a free game now. I think it's if you purchased it before March 25th. And I don't totally quote.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, if you purchase the game before March 25th, you will get a free game off of Origin's network, which I don't know if getting another EA game is what you want, but you can if you did purchase it. And there, of course, I'm not going to go into the actual apology letter, the 18th one, but it's essentially the same kind of bullshit. We're sorry. We didn't mean it. We promised to fix it. Haha, we got your money. Suckers, suck it, I believe is the gist of it. And then EA teased the Battlefield 4 news on March 27th. Do you have more info about this Hit? Like exactly what the tease was? Because I didn't even get to see it.
It was a video. It was like maybe 4 seconds, and it basically just showed the logo, the number 4 logo. And that's pretty much it. That's all we know. Tomorrow's a big announcement, so it's probably going to be like a trailer of some sort. I can't see them holding an event, but yeah.
They're also supposed to show some gameplay footage too.
Yeah, we'll probably see the game and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much.
Do people care about that? I mean, am I wrong in saying that? Would you consider what happened in Battlefield 3? Is that a successful FPS overall?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
I think so too. There's a pretty big fan base for it.
Especially since Battlefield 4 has the potential to be a launch game for the next gen consoles. So we'll see.
Interesting. That I think is a good move for a game like that.
Yeah.
If PlayStation 4 and Xbox 720 had Battlefield 4 launch day, that could be like Halo 1 for Xbox kind of thing, like console seller.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
That's my question with Battlefield. I think it does have a big fan base. It doesn't have the Call of Duty fan base, and I'm not even sure it has the Halo fan base. So it's kind of, it's a great game. I actually had more fun playing Battlefield 3 than really any of the Call of Duty series in the last 2 or 3. So I think it's a great series, and I've always been ever since Battlefield 1940. Was it 49? 42. 1942.
42.
I've loved it. So it was one of my first big PC shooters. I mean, I played like Quake and all the other stuff, but I got deep into that game when I built one of my first like real gaming rigs. So I've always loved them. I've loved what they put out. They are attached to EA, which again, Jesus, who isn't nowadays? Can anyone publish a game on their own now? Or do they have to just, is that the deal? No. They have to suck on the teat of the devil at some point.
Well, at least with the Battlefield 3, they did keep, fresh content going. You still had that whole map pack, and it wasn't like it was done in 4 months. It's been stretched out. So they've kept interest in it for a long time. You keep getting new stuff to it, new, not just new maps, but, new weapons,
right.
New game types, new vehicles. You get some like gigantic maps if you want. They even went down to, to appease some of the COD fans with smaller map combat and everything like that. So I would say it's been pretty successful for what they had planned out for it. There wasn't a bunch of failings for it. When the stuff comes out, you've had little glitches here and there, but it hasn't been like a whole, 2-week ordeal where X isn't working or so-and-so is broken. So I think they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I have to give them credit. And they've seemed to, toe the line with EA. They haven't been... There was a little bit of anger, I think, with a lot of the DLC, but I'm not sure that any company right now is doing DLC right. So I can't really hate on them for what they did with DLC. I think that's becoming the norm. It's sad to see it, but in the same respect, it's kind of hard to blame them because gamers pay the money. If that's something you don't want and that's something you want to fight against, don't be like me, like buying SimCity. Just don't spend the money. You know what I mean? Don't spend the money. Maybe they'll get the picture, but I seriously doubt it because there's douchebags like me who are just throwing money at my screen and then never playing the game anyway. So there you go. And then finally, the big news, really big news actually, especially with Electronic Arts, the people that we're making fun of right now. John Riccitiello, he resigned, as well as the CEO of Square Enix resigned. And this is kind of an important thing. I mean, a lot of people, I think, glazed over it. But the reason it's so important is the gaming industry is kind of going into a bubble like it did early in the 80s, where profits are way down. And, Riccitiello sort of manned up, which was nice to see, and said, hey, I fucked up. When they brought me in, it was at, $60-something a share. When I'm leaving, it's at, I don't know, I think it was low 20s. Or I think it was even less than 20s. So, I mean, clearly he's beholden to the shareholders. He fucked up, and they gave him the boot or resigned, I guess. But don't worry, he's got a golden parachute made of diamonds, and I'm sure he will be fine. But it is kind of a sign of where gaming is currently going. And a lot of people are kind of saying that maybe people are a little bored of gaming, or it hasn't been innovative enough and it hasn't been able to branch out and grow. Because obviously it's all about growth. And if there are not more gamers being created every day, then there's something wrong, right? That's the way our economy works. Everyone wants to see growth. And so it looks like we're at a gaming bubble, and it's not really moving. This could obviously be because of the, life cycle of current consoles, which is really, really long. The longest it's been pretty much ever. And, no new games, but who knows? I mean, what did you guys think about this, as news? I thought it was really big. I actually thought it was a really big deal. What did you guys think?
Well, I thought it was pretty big. I thought it was a little weird for the Square Enix announcement. I mean, Joysticks had an article on it today, and they were showing, some of the sales. Tomb Raider, they did, as of a couple days ago or a week ago, 3.4 million sales. I mean, and they consider that a failure.
Right.
What are you talking about? It's 3.4 million units sold. Diablo did what at launch? 7 million or something like that?
11 million in less than 2 weeks.
Half of that, and you consider it a failure? What are you doing over there? It's a successful launch title, and you did well. So if you're making your projections, if you were so beholden upon yourself, you're thinking, this game is going to be awesome, we're going to do 12 million units, you need to fire some people, because you are clueless to what's going on.
Yeah, the CEO.
He didn't come out and said, these financial analysts told me we're going to sell, 3 million units. I'm going to say we're going to sell 9. Nobody does that. I mean, come on.
Right.
Nobody wants to make that kind of announcement and, end up fucking up. So I think he was just given some information or a push to say, yeah, we want to do this. and then you come out with these numbers, which are still great numbers. I mean, they're outstanding numbers.
Right.
And then consider it a failure.
Well, and we saw the same thing happen with 38 Studios. They banked on this, and again, these people seem to have these projections that just don't even seem realistic. I believe that they needed to, and again, don't quote me because it's been a while since that story broke, but I believe they were supposed to sell like 5 million units or something crazy. I mean, it was when we heard what they needed to sell in order to be profitable with the shareholders, you kind of like scratched your head and said, what the fuck? Like, who's going to buy a brand new IP that no one's never ever heard of from a company that's never made a game before, and they're going to sell 5 million units? And the sad part of that whole sad tale was that the game wasn't bad. It was a good game, and I believe they sold...
It was a really good game. I played the shit out of it.
I loved it. I actually played that game almost all the way through. I didn't hate it, which for me, I pick up a game nowadays, I usually hate it within the first 10 minutes. And they sold, I think it was either 1 million or 3 million copies, but that was seen as a colossal failure. I mean, they couldn't recoup all the people they owed. They started, basically missing their payments, and the entire place fell apart, and then all those people got fired. And it was really a shame because the game was good, and they really had a nice baseline for a new IP, which we never see. We finally got something new with a new storyline, and it completely failed because it didn't meet these obscene projections. And I think that seems to be the problem is, again, if you're a company, you need to show growth. You need to show that an investor puts money in, they get more money out. That's the goal. That's the end game. And if you can't do that, even if you're treading water, that's not good enough. It's a failure and things seem to fall apart. So when you see these huge companies do this, it's a little telling of what's going on right now in the industry. It's a little bit, it's shaky. And I really do believe that this E3 is the E3. I think really what we see in the next year, 2 years to come is really going to set the precedent for how the gaming industry recovers. And we see it at Tool to Play. A lot of times we wonder we have a huge membership. Why is the voice of the community so quiet? And I think that's because a lot of the hardcore gamers or serious gamers are taking a nap right now. Halo 4, one of the biggest games on Tool to Play, while performing well and keeping the community still involved, is nowhere near the size it used to be. And I don't think that's a fault of the community. I actually think it's a fault of video games. So it's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be pretty interesting. Any closing thoughts on that? What do you guys think?
I think we could do a whole show just on this topic.
Yeah. Right. It's like a sad topic because we're gamers.
It is,
and that's why we.
But I mean,
do the show.
this is definitely going to be the make or break it year to 2 years, and whoever survives the next year or two is going to be around probably for the next 10.
Yeah. And I think the innovation is the key. I really think these guys got to stop fucking around and stop worrying about DLC and bottom lines. And maybe this kick in the ass is what they need. Maybe creativity will push back. But in a sad way, I think we need the gaming industry to fail a bit. I think we need that bump in the road, and we need to move on. And a lot of it is for me, they're making too many games, and there is only so much bandwidth that I have to play video games.
I agree completely.
Yeah, I mean, like I pick up a game, and the minute I'm into it, there's a new game coming down the pipeline, and I gotta okay, am I gonna play this game now? And because this whole RPG gamification thing is the big thing now, you can't invest in one game because that game needs to be your game for the next 6 months because there's all this content and DLC and new stuff coming because they're trying to just suck you into that IP. So I don't know.
So true.
It's really true.
Yeah.
It's really sad. And we pretty much did a mini show on it just now.
Look at Tomb Raider and Bioshock.
Yeah, I know.
Like
we'll get to that.
Great games.
We'll get to those games because there are great games out there, and PAX East rather, showed off some pretty good ones, and Bioshock I think is one of the ones that's released today.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
today.
came out today.
Yeah, today. So there are games out there, but let's get into that. So the big stuff, the big awesome stuff, PAX East. It's the precursor to E3. It's supposedly what we're gonna see. But what did everyone think? Let's go through the announcements. I guess the big ones. The first being, and this you two can talk. Hitten and LB can take this one over. The Halo 4 Castle Map Pack. They did the TU, the title update information. They announced that they're giving free Forge map away for free. Free Forge map for free. Kind of redundant. And then the CSR. So what did you guys think about 343 coming out, really going gangbusters.
Yes. So they made all of these announcements during their panel at E3.
Right.
Did you get a chance to go to that by any chance?
I did not. I believe it was it was kind of in the evening, right when we were in between day activities and evening activities.
Okay.
So what did you guys think of that map? Let's start with the map pack. Is this going back into the big team battle stuff? Are we getting some small maps in this map pack? Let's get some discussion. What's going on with that?
Well, no, it's all big team battle maps.
No!
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there are no small maps in this map pack. There are no medium maps.
That's the name, Castle.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
it's your definition of medium, but it's not really medium. It's big team battle stuff. That's what it is. And if that's the direction they want to go, that's their prerogative, but I'll download it because I got the LE edition, but I'm not like,
Exactly.
oh my god, I get to play these. Sweet.
So
Yes, I couldn't tell you the last time I went into a big team battle.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not fun for me.
It's not fun.
Yeah, but you guys got to look from the other perspective.
All right, hit me with this other perspective because I need to hear it.
Like, how many players play big team battle? It's at least 50% of the population.
It is.
Like,
I
it's
don't
just
understand
numbers,
it.
right?
Yes.
We may not understand it because we're not big team battle people, but I understand why they're doing it, but I may not like it.
Well, it's weird. Is it not like a catch-22? I mean, if they keep making big team battle maps, this services the big team battle community. How do we pick up the community that was once the largest, which was 4v4? Isn't that by making more 4v4 maps? Isn't that like at least the start to try and bring that sort of huge community back? Or I don't know. Have they just like basically thrown it down and said like, look, this is a BTB game. Like we don't do.
Yeah,
what's
No,
I
don't
can
think so.
see why there's an increase in the big team battle. It's because people have better connections.
This is
People
true.
want to play with more people. You're not constricted anymore to only 4 people can play because of your connection. So
Right.
I can see from the social aspect why it's becoming bigger, but from I like to play a little more competitively, I guess. And it just blows my mind.
It's weird. I mean, I feel like no one in this show wants BT. I mean, I understand that there's a need for it because, BTB for me is like, man, I'm crazy drunk right now. Like, I don't know why that is what hits my brain immediately, but I'm like, oh, I am smashed. I should play BTB for the next hour and like shoot
Right.
my teammate and like grenade myself and just be a total dick and then get
Just
booted.
drive around on the Warthog, run
Yeah.
over your teammates.
Right. That's BTB for me. I just wait
Yes.
until someone is offended with whatever it is I'm doing, and then they boot me out, and then I'm done for the night. It's like a night of BTB.
And like, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's still fun, but their proportion of big team battle maps to like medium and even small maps, it's nowhere even close.
Right.
It's not even like a third, a third, and a third. It's like big team battle, couple medium, and then small, and then they want to leave everything up to community forgers to kind of figure it out.
Well, let's.
You know?
Well, let's
That's what I was going to ask
Yeah.
you. Do you think that's why they announced this free map?
That's what I was gonna say. Let's get to that. So the other big announcement, obviously, was the free Forge map, and from what we've seen, first of all, it's free, so that's good, right? Free is good,
Yes.
and I think that is sort of a hand to the forgers out there to say, okay, let's see what you can make. The cool thing about it is not only is it free, but it's 3 giant islands. Well, it's actually 1 giant island, a medium island, and a tiny island. And it's huge. I mean, like, it is
Huge.
unbelievable. And they've said you could, even if you really know your budget, you can actually connect all 3 islands and play on all 3, which I'm talking huge. It's like, it's almost hard to explain, but it's big.
And the videos that they were showing, they had Hang 'em High, and they said there's more room for Blood Gulch if you really wanted to.
Yeah, they had it, and
It's
they
like,
had Hang 'em
what?
High, like actually hanging off the side of one of the Forge maps. So, I mean, so what do you guys think? Is this? I mean, obviously you guys are happy about this because it's free. But I mean, do you think this will sort of spur a little bit of creativity, or what do you guys think?
Well, I think it's going to open it up to, like I said, a bunch of more of the forgers. Plus, they're also coming out with a little bit more palette colors, and they've also done a little bit more tweaks where your forgers are going to have a little more tools to work with. They've needed to do this because they've had a huge outpouring of people like, I want flat land. empty, flat land. That's what I want instead of these rolling landscapes and everything like that, or rockfield landscapes, which is fine, and that's what they're finally doing. So that's nice. At least they listened and were
Right.
like, all right, we've had this huge outcry. We're going to put forth this effort, and we're going to give you what you've been screaming for, which is great. Why did it take so long? I mean, fine. Yes, you wanted to hear back from the community, but, this is kind of stuff that I hope you're really taking good notes and you're going to stick into the next version. Because if you pull another bullshit scheme like this again and wait 4 months, saying, oh, well, here you go, this is what you've been asking for, you're just going to really upset people.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Overall, I do think it's a great a step in the right direction, and I think Forging, I think that community, and this is Deep's in our chat right now, and he's one of the preeminent or preliminary, I should say, forgers out there because he's pro like that. But that community was actually quite big on Tool to Play. I mean, it was small, but it was active. And I think a lot of what happened with Halo 4 is it sort of died because there wasn't as many tools. It's hard to downgrade, right? I mean, it's hard to you go with all these tools, you have all these abilities that Forger had in Halo 3, and then you get Halo 4 and they strip everything out. So I don't know. I think that really did them a disservice as well because here we had all these tools and now we don't. So maybe they're finally kind of seeing that and they're just getting back into it. I mean, what do you think, Hit? Do you think competitively this will do anything? I know we always touch on competitive, but is this enough or is it finally over? I don't know.
Competitively, it's a good thing. The last map pack, they've just incorporated them into the version 3 team throwdown settings. So and all the competitive guys seem to really love that new map pack. So I don't really know if this free map is going to be really that good. It'll be good, but it's still going to take time for them to make maps and tweak them, and by then it might be too late. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, well, the other thing they entered in was the TU update, the title update. They didn't go too much into this, which I was a little disappointed, but we know it's actually there, right? I mean, before we were just kind of assuming eventually it would be out there. I think they're saying now April, right? Sometime in April, early April, they're going to have the TU update.
Yes, all of this stuff will be coming out within the next 2 weeks.
Within the next 2 weeks, which is a big deal. I mean, that's good. They're moving their asses finally. But they really didn't give enough info on TU. I think they said there's a couple balancing tweaks here and there. Was there any specifics you saw that really caught your eye?
The big thing was the X. When you die,
so that's a
there's
big
an
thing?
X. I think that's one of the biggest changes. No.
Well, that you get the red X is now back with this title update, so that's going to be really a nice thing.
I think that's huge.
Yeah, I think it's pretty big, and it's. I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal before launch, but after launch, I'm like, oh damn, yeah, that was a pretty.
Yeah, we needed it.
But part of the other big, or what I consider a big thing, is they're giving the back end, at least my understanding, is they're going to have a lot more flexibility to tweak not only weapon fire rates but weapon damage, and they won't have to do a title update. So
basically, what's it called? The anniversary?
Oh, right, yeah, with Anniversary Edition?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they showed some of it, an example of it. There was Bravo and one of the other guys from 343, and you had Bravo with a saw just sit there, and he was like, and it didn't do anything to the other guy. And the other guy whipped out a plasma pistol and one shot and killed him. So he also, took down a tank with 5 or 6 shots from a plasma pistol. So they now are going to have that ability with the title update. They can do those changes on the fly if they notice, oh, wow, this weapon is way OP, or the carbine needs a little bit more damage, or the DMR needs a little less magnetism. They can have that in-house, in-hand, can be done really quickly without a title update. So that's a nice thing to do.
I think that's a big deal. Yeah, the question is now whether they actually act on that. I think that's a big thing with 343 is there's that disconnect still, even now, which they're getting better, but are they actually listening? And it seems like they are, but now it's can they act? Can they actually get out there? People have been screaming about BR balances, a couple other things like that. They did it with the pistol, the charge pistol, whatever the name of it is.
Bolt shot.
The bolt shot. And so they're kind of listening, right? They're making steps, baby steps. But the question is always, is it too little, too late? In a world where every 15 minutes a new game is coming out, and you're constantly wondering what the next thing is. So good stuff from 343. I think you saw this too, Tiff. You can talk about this. That the DuckTales remastered was announced. This blew my mind when I saw this video. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I cried like a little girl. I mean, did you get a chance to actually play it?
No, and I don't understand any of the hype surrounding this at all.
God,
I don't. It must have been before my gaming time.
Time.
I'm totally clueless about it.
For me,
I wish I had more to say about it. I didn't see it. I heard about it. It seemed like everybody was so excited about it, but
they didn't have it on the floor or anything.
They did have it on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
I was surprised actually that they did not have BioShock Infinite on the floor anywhere.
They didn't.
They did not.
And yet he was actually at the. Now I forget his name.
Yes.
Which is
Ken Levine.
Ken Levine. He was there, right? So he was giving interviews.
Yes, he was there. He was walking around. He came and did a guest appearance on the Major Nelson podcast. But yeah, they were not showing the game there, which I was really shocked. Like that was the one thing that we wanted to go check out during the media hour. And we got on the floor and we're looking around for the 2K booth. And we're like, where's the 2K booth? Where is it? Where is it? We're looking up because usually 2K has the biggest fucking sign in the whole room.
Right. Maybe
couldn't even find 2K for the first 10 minutes that we were wandering around. Finally, we looked on the map
to
see where they were. And we went over there and there was just like this red box booth with just like a little stage area set up. No games to play anywhere.
Wow.
It's probably a budget thing.
Well, I wonder if it's
probably,
just because the game's
if
coming out, right? I mean, what are they going to show?
Right, E3.
Because they had a really big booth last year. Like,
they did. Yeah, that's why we couldn't find them. We're like, where the hell are they?
Weird. That's weird. But I mean, for me, DuckTales. I'm sorry.
I know.
I
don't understand it.
I don't want to bring it back to DuckTales, but DuckTales, like best in show for me. Best in show. Really, best in show.
I guess I'll have to check it out. I have no idea.
If you ever have,
I'm with you too. I didn't play
It's 2-on-2 right now, guys. 2-on-2.
I'm glad I'm just not the only one.
Like,
luckily, I'm the host and I can just drop all of you and then just talk. I'll just talk about DuckTales by myself for the next like 40 minutes if anyone wants to listen.
Scrooge McDuck, man.
I am Scrooge
I
McDuck.
just know everybody's excited.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
But definitely one of the big games there was The Last of Us.
Yeah, so talk a little about The Last of Us because Derek touched on a little bit, but this was what I call the Uncharted sort of game, the way it kind of looked and felt, but it looks really great, and I liked the idea behind it. So give a little bit into that.
It's a PlayStation game.
I'm a little sad.
Which I know. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's PlayStation 3, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is PlayStation 3.
They haven't announced next gen or anything?
No.
No, but they did say
Because
that
I
it
think
might
the
be
game's
out, right?
coming out in May or June.
Oh, okay.
Can someone confirm that?
No, I don't.
I don't know. There were so many different dates announced. I really can't keep them all straight in my head right now. But the game looks fantastic. The demo for it, you actually got to play 30 minutes of the game. It is just it's a thriller. It's one of those you're not sure what's lurking around the corner. You're not sure where somebody's going to, they're going to jump out from behind a desk or come down from the ceiling or crawl up a wall towards you. Like, it's just, you never know where the enemy's coming from. And it's like I wouldn't really call them zombies. They look more like, they almost remind me of like a cross between a zombie and like a reef. Like they had like it almost, like how in reefs, like you have like all the different like jellyfish and all the other stuff. Like they had like weird things on their heads, reminded me just of like underwater creatures.
The one thing about the like zombies, whatever you want to call them, I remember reading like early when they first announced this game that they actually researched like things that are actually potentially could happen. Like zombies is a little bit fake. It's pretty fake, right? The chances of zombies ever actually happening are like slim to none. But they actually researched that it's like some fungus that that can grow on certain animals and control them, kind of like what happens in this game. So I like how they went above and beyond to try to like research some sort of like virus or something.
Right, something that could really happen.
Yeah, that could. Yeah.
I have to say, I mean, it seems like a really creative game. That's again, I'm liking that. And Naughty Dog always seems to be able to really create.
Yeah, I mean,
great
it
games,
looked
right?
great. It played great.
Yeah.
I will probably pick it up, and I have never played through a game on the PlayStation.
No, me
Ever.
neither. And it's really sad. Like now, it's at the end of a life cycle. I really want to play the
Yeah.
game, but there's no way I can go buy a console for one game at the end of a life cycle. It's just
No.
Right.
so that kind of bums me out. I mean, we saw it at E3 last year's E3,
Right.
and we were.
I believe they
excited
just
then.
showed a video of it then.
Right, it was during the whole trailer during the Sony press event that
Right.
they put it out, and even then it looked like a great game.
It's great. I mean,
think
the
it's
30
coming
minutes
out-
just flew by.
Yeah, I think it's coming out June 14th. I'm actually just reading it right now.
Okay.
So June 14th. Is
So I
when it
wasn't
comes
too
out.
far off.
No, it's coming out this summer. I guess the only hope is that maybe next gen they'll have a port onto it, or maybe they'll have a different version on there. Because you never know when
Right.
these games come this close to the development cycle, they can sometimes jump. But I've been reading about it. I've kind of just been learning a little bit more about it. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic game. So if you have reason to like burn money on a old, well, how much is a PlayStation?
If you
3,
don't have
right?
any other games to play right
Yeah.
now, no.
Which never seems to be a problem. So it
Right,
looks
yeah.
like no one's playing this. But no, it looks great. I mean, if you've got a PlayStation 3, I highly recommend it from what I saw. And that was just a
Yes,
trailer.
definitely.
And if you haven't learned
Tiff-
anything about it, go out and start, looking things up.
Have you ever played Uncharted?
I have not.
Okay, I'm just
I was
curious
like,
to see.
I've never
how
played through
similar
any
they are.
games. From what I've seen of Uncharted, I would say it has a very similar game mechanic to it, and
Yeah, I mean,
a
it
similar
feels
style.
It feels the same in terms of style. I mean, it's a third-person shooter. You play a
Right.
guy that's just like the Uncharted guy. I mean,
Yeah.
those two worlds really do meet in several different places, but they're doing a lot different with this game. One of the main things too is like Tiff was saying, you could turn a corner and it's more free world exploration. Like you're kind of thrust in this environment where you don't know what's going to be around every corner. And
Right,
you
and
kind
that
of
was
let
actually one of the
things
other things that
unfold.
was really cool about the game, but very frustrating as well. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I lost you guys. Is there's not a lot of visual cues on which direction you're supposed to go.
So it's literally search and find and uncover.
Exactly.
I like
Exactly. There was a
that.
couple points where I was getting very frustrated, and I'd look back to the developer and, he might point a clue, but it's as gamers, we're so used to lately, like pressing a button and a magic line appears in front of us that we can just follow to wherever we
Yep.
need to go. And this game does not have that at all.
That's great.
Bioshock has that.
It's funny with like we've kind of reached this point. I totally agree where we want our hands held, but as soon as we find out they are held, we're like, well, this sucks. I don't want
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, like
wanna
it was
find
just
on my
completely
own.
opposite of most games that I'm used to lately.
Yeah,
It's like I just stood there, I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
I like that. I like the idea of like maybe even going on the internet and doing research. Like remember back in the day when you couldn't figure a level out, you had to like research that shit. You had to like get on get out on the internet. And be like,
I
how
have
do
a
I do
feeling
this?
that this game is very much going to be like that.
Oh, that's good stuff. That is good
Game Genie
stuff.
codes.
Another big thing at the showroom floor. Well, this is more, I think, LB's thing because it's actually in SoCal. The first permanent esports arena is being built in SoCal. Do you hear anything about this? You're in the beta for this, right?
I am.
What
I
is
saw
a
it tweeted
beta
out
for
there.
this? I don't even
How
understand.
do you get into a beta?
Explain
Yeah,
this
actually,
to me.
if you go
Are you supposed to
their
like
site-
go help out? Is it construction work?
Yeah, like they give you a cap, and you think you're in beta, and you're just doing manual labor. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm really
saw some shit
Right.
together.
Dumb gamers. This is how we'll get them to help us build this place.
oh yeah, guys, it's DLC. Just grab this bricks and you build some shit. Yeah, it's cool.
Crimp some cables.
Right.
Sweet.
So what is
Level
it? What
4.
is it? What's the deal? What's the beta? I mean, do you have a little bit of info?
Well, it's a little bit info. What it is you can basically sign up for their beta, and as soon as I saw it advertised on Twitter, I was like, oh, I'll click on the link, but I'll never get in. So I clicked on it, filled it out, sent it off. And then they gave you some screen or some artist renditions of what the different stages are going to look like. This is going to be a permanent location. So it's not going to be at a hotel. It's not going to be at a convention center. It's a standalone area. and they're going to have it for everything. They're going to have it for COD. They're going to have it for Halo. They're going to have it for racing games. They're going to have it for League of Legends. So whatever these big esports promotions want to do, they can come to this location and they can definitely set up for however they want to have their big weekend set up.
Interesting.
And then I heard back from the CEO or the president guy within, I think it was within a couple hours, or actually, I'm sorry, it was the next day, and they were like, "Hey, congrats, you're in the beta. You know, keep in touch. We're gonna let you know what's going on and everything like that." And I'm like, "What?" So I replied back, and I'm like, because you had his personal contact email, and I replied back, and I'm like, "So hey, thanks for letting me in the beta. Really looking forward to it. I live in Mission Viejo, Orange County. I know you can't give me an address, but kind of where you thinking?" And he's like, "It's very, very close to you," which means
It's in your house.
Yeah, it's in my backyard.
He's like, "Look behind you." He's just standing there, and you're like, "This is kind of creepy, bro. It's weird."
Well, he actually said the city, but I don't know if I'm really supposed to say the city. But
That's fine. Well, what is the beta though? What are you? I don't understand.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You don't even know.
They probably just want your input.
I'm telling you, they're gonna come to your house and
Well,
just
it's
start
kinda
stealing
like-
shit.
They're supposed to give us some more information of like what we're kind of be doing, but other than that, I have
you're
no
gonna get a
idea.
package in the mail with some work gloves and some,
Put a bag over my
steel-toed
head.
boots.
Right. Like, I'm pretty sure
Hard
there's
hats.
never been like a real life beta. Like, this is a real life beta.
This
Yeah.
is real life beta. So my assumption is we're gonna go there, probably set it up for a lot of the different games. We're gonna be testing hardware, the setup. Probably if the arena set up this way, do you have a good view of all the screens being shown? Does everyone have a good seat? Is the hardware crappy? Is the sound crappy? Probably a little bit of everything. So
Okay, yeah, that makes a little bit of sense.
yeah, and hopefully, when I hear about more, I'll relay it to you guys. But I also asked him if he ever wants to come on the show and talk about it, would he be interested? And he's like, hell yeah. He's like, as soon as I can talk more about it, I want on. So we'll be able to bring him on to answer a
Good
lot more
stuff.
questions.
Well, we'll know a little bit more in the
Awesome.
future.
That's awesome.
And then one of the final things we have on the list of the bigger announcements was Super Giant Games Transistor. Did you get any hands on this one, Tiff? Or what'd you think
I
about this?
did.
And did
Oh
you
my
see- oh,
gosh,
you seem
it's so
excited.
good. So
I don't know anything about this.
yeah, so this is the company that made Bastion,
Right.
Jay, which you
Yes.
should be familiar with
I
because you
love.
played that at E3 last year. It has the same voiceover guy, so it's got kind of that. I forget his name, but that really deep
He's like,
voice.
"Glory
and,
is
the
upon
kid,
you."
Yeah, the kid is going to
Oh, I loved it.
fight the. Yeah, it's like I can't do it. Derek does it really well, but so it's got kind of that same voiceover that goes along with it, and it's got a similar look and feel to it, but the game mechanics themselves are completely different, like how you acquire powers, how you acquire your weapons. I played through most of the first level and then decided I love the game so much that I didn't want to spoil it anymore. So
Wow.
I actually quit playing the demo, which I'm probably like the only person in the media that probably quit playing the demo, or anybody there at PAX. But I didn't want to spoil the game for me.
It's that good.
But it's
Wow.
that good. I mean, the music is it. I mean, it's just very much in their style. It's got good music. It's got good voiceover. It's got great graphics.
And
But yet, it's a very simple idea.
And I'm looking at a couple of the screens right now. It looks like they're doing more of the I guess space. And I don't want to say space. It's almost like it's definitely sci-fi. I mean, they're definitely going for that sci-fi.
Yeah, it's
one.
definitely sci-fi. You play as, I believe her name is Red, and she was kind of like a opera singer, and you're in this
Weird.
futuristic world, and people have gone missing, and they're afraid that you're next. So you kind of have to go through these levels to figure out who's after you and what's going on.
So it's funny, like you mentioned this. So this is one of obviously the games you liked there. And I know you were saying that PAX is, obviously everyone's waiting for E3 and there's this big hubbub. So is this the type of game that you think at E3 you'd be really attracted to? Or is it just because we're waiting for all
No.
these AAA titles that
I
you sort
think
of had
they
to find
played the
it?
perfect timing on this.
Yeah.
Get it? Because Bastion very much was one of those games that was hyped up by the fans and not by the media.
Right.
and I think they want to ride that. And I think it was a great, smart play to, talk about it right before PAX East, and then actually have it there on the floor so that people could play. It's a great timing for them.
Yeah, it seems like that's what this PAX East was. I mean, if you're an indie developer, now is the time. Now is when because now you're not covered up by all the insane, glitz and flashy lights of AAA titles. You actually have an opportunity. And I mean, I don't know how many people are at PAX this year, but I believe it was still just as big as last year.
Too many.
Too many. Yeah, right.
Too many. Yeah.
A lot of
yeah, there was definitely a point where I had to actually leave the floor because I was feeling claustrophobic. Like, you could not walk around without somebody bumping into you, cutting in front of you. I mean, it was just like, it was not fun at some points.
So they have this huge audience, and really there's no AAA titles. I mean, there was a couple, but not a lot. Most of them are just the end of cycle, end of console titles, the ones that are still able to announce stuff.
They definitely had one of the longest lines there.
Oh, they see that's.
It definitely rivaled any of the big games. I mean, it probably rivaled The Last of Us.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. That is really interesting. So it's kind of nice to see that. Maybe this was the push that indie needed. Not that indie seems to need a push anymore. It seems like we're talking more and more about pinball and Bastion and like games like this. Maybe we're just getting like really old. I don't know. Are we
maybe, or maybe we're just looking for new types of games to play, and this is where they're coming from.
Like, we just woke up casual gamers. We just woke up one day.
But I don't even know if I'd call this game a casual game.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I think indie games used to have that stigma of being casual. Right. But like you said, you're competitive in pinball. Like that's not too casual. Much. That's not casual when you're looking up tutorials about how to be better at pinball. That is beyond casual. So it's kind of interesting to see a title like this come out, and it's nice to see a little bit of a spotlight, a little bit of time for them to get their own shot. I mean, obviously once E3 hits, you will not even hear about games like you might, you might hear them on the side, stuff like that, but it's certainly going to be taken over by, hey, come on, Xbox 720, all the new launch titles and anything that Nintendo's putting out that nobody cares about because their console's already dead.
I mean, I highly, highly recommend keeping an eye on this game.
Interesting. I hope I don't get lost in all the bullshit, because I don't know when this is coming out. So I hope that there's some time. And maybe that's the thing is maybe it doesn't really matter. Maybe this is a game you pick up 2-3 months after it's released, you play it for a while and you're good to go. And that's kind of the cool thing about indie games is you don't need to have them on release. You're not playing them multiplayer most of the time.
Right.
So it's not a big deal. And they don't.
You could wait until it comes out on the iPad and pick it up. I know, months later they released Bastion on the iPad, and a lot of people picked it up then.
Yeah, and the iPad, I gotta say, I'm kind of liking the experience on the iPad. That's my go-to device now. It's kind of weird. LB's shaking his head. It's like he's lost a friend. Like he's literally like, I feel
you are the problem, dude.
I am the problem.
He's always the problem.
He's weeping.
So just real quick, we did see a few other games.
Yeah, go ahead.
We saw a trailer and some kind of, just some preliminary videos of the Assassin's Creed, the new one coming out.
Yeah, you're on a pirate ship, right?
Black Flag.
Yeah, you get Black Flag. You get to be a pirate, which I think is pretty cool. I might actually pick this one up.
Too soon.
Too soon? You really? You think that's they're cranking them out now? They don't give a shit.
Yeah, didn't it just come out like a month ago?
Yeah. No, just now.
No, it was around Christmas actually.
To be fair, they've had an Assassin's Creed game every year for like last 6 years.
But now they're doing it every weekend.
And I feel like what they're doing in this game, they very much set down the groundwork for it with the previous Assassin's Creed. Like just that's where they started to do some of the ship battling and things like that, and now they're really honing it and pretty much building a whole game around it.
I think that's a good idea. I think what they did with the latest Assassin's Creed, because they finally got out there and changed some shit, really is starting to show that the developers are getting the picture, that they can't just put out the same Assassin's Creed every year, that they actually have to step back and think, hey, let's put in a new genre, let's put in a new place. I like it. I mean, I agree, LB, it is a little soon. I think it's Assassin's Creed is now every weekend at around 3 o'clock. There's a new one. But still... it's nice to see that they're changing. Hey, if they can do it, if they can push it out, more power to them, right? I mean, we can't be mad that they're creating content.
It's Ubi, so why not?
It's Ubi.
One of the other really cool things that people are excited about is you can do some underwater battles and take on a shark. This sounds great. They showed some footage of that, and it was pretty cool.
That's a Far Cry copy.
Oh, stop being a hater. dick.
Yeah.
There's
Hey, you
sharks
got to borrow
involved.
from what you got to borrow from, right?
Exactly. Steal. I mean, borrow. Sorry.
Yeah.
What else?
and they
I want
also-
to fight a whale, not a shark.
Well, there was a whale there too. You might be able to fight it. The other
That'd be
one
awesome.
we saw over at Ubi, they were showing some more footage of Watch Dogs.
Right.
I'm hoping that we will have some hands-on with that at E3.
I would almost
Was there?
guarantee that.
Was that just a demo, or were people allowed to
Just
play
video.
it?
Nope, just a video.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they've been holding that one tight to the chest.
They
Yeah.
have, they have. That's why I'm thinking that they're saving that one for the next gen.
Yeah, I think it may come out simultaneously, but I'd almost guarantee that it will be on the PS4.
I remember looking at pictures from what's his name, Waterborne, from the PAX floor, and like Watch Dogs was like the biggest setup they had there at the time. I'm surprised it wasn't playable.
I think it's because it's really
sucks.
close to release, but they really need
Yeah.
that PS4 to, push it over the edge. So they're gonna.
Yeah,
they're
or
probably gonna
that
wait
may
on
be
that.
another one that they might release on the 3 and then immediately release it
Right,
on the
on the
4
4.
too. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're going the Destiny route with that, which I think is a
Yeah,
smart
well,
move.
it seems like they're doing that with the Diablo 3 as well, right?
Yes, it'll be PS3 and almost certainly PS4. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good move. I mean, and it gets people's whistles wet, as it were, and it gets them excited for the game. I'm excited for it. I mean, we saw that again last year, E3, and that was one
Yep.
of the biggest trailers they had and one of the coolest little gameplays that we've seen in a long time. So, I don't know. Looks good. And honestly, a lot of these games, I give Sony credit. This is weird, but like, I'm probably going to buy a PS4. It's weird. Like, there's, I
Yeah.
know, it's weird. I feel like a dick.
We will
I should just
definitely
give
get
up.
one.
I should
Are you
just
gonna
give up.
buy both though?
I'm gonna buy both. I'm gonna buy
Oh,
both.
okay.
I'm gonna sell a kidney. I'm gonna buy both. That's what I'm gonna do. Steal the
Also
kidney
got to
back.
check out.
Did you get to check out? Sorry to interrupt you. Injustice.
Did not.
And that's
Okay.
the Marvel game, right? Is that the
Yes.
No, well, no, it's DC.
Is it
but-
DC?
DC. Sorry.
Get it right.
Know your
Whoa.
comics.
I don't like- no,
Woohoo.
I didn't grow up a nerd.
God.
Gradually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it happened gradually. LB.
No, we did not get over and check that. I saw that briefly at E3 last year
Yeah.
and loved it, and I'm pretty sure they've just continued along. I heard really good things about it. I know some people that did go see it.
Good. That's always good.
Also stopped by Bethesda. They were
Ooh,
showing
Elder
the
Scrolls
Elder
Online?
Scrolls Online.
Oh, tantalize me.
I didn't get
great.
to play it. Aaron got to play that while I was playing the new DLC for Dishonored.
Oh, okay. I mean, did you see any videos with Elder Scrolls? I know that they've done a lot to it since the last time we were there in E3.
I didn't really get to see much of it. I'm hoping Aaron should probably have a little mini write-up on the
That'd be
site
cool.
sometime this week with her experience. It was on PC, and I'm like just a complete noob when it comes to keyboard and mouse.
That's okay.
So I opted for the Dishonored instead, which is funny because after playing the that new DLC there, where you get to play like an opposite assassin character, I came back home and popped in my Dishonored disc and was like, "You haven't played this game since October of 2012," and I'm like, "Holy shit! I never finished this game." Well, what came out in October and then November?
Everything.
Borderlands 2
Everything.
and then Halo. Like, it's no wonder I never finished
You
it.
got no time.
Mhm.
This is the problem.
Yes,
There needs
too
to be a
many
limit.
games.
Future
Limit on
topic.
games. Future topic.
Yes.
Too many games. We're done
Put it
with
on
them.
the list.
So I mean, and again, there's so much to talk. This was a light PAX, and we still don't have enough time. It's already been an hour and 10 minutes.
Exactly.
We can
Yep.
keep going. So let's kind of wrap it up. We'll wrap it up this way. What was your favorite and what was your biggest disappointment at PAX so far? LB, go. That long sigh.
I guess the favorite stuff, would be, the Halo title update and the free map and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The biggest disappointment, not a real big shocker, but it's kind of like everything was I felt everything was held back.
Right,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
That's
This
big
is
one.
kind of what we have. We had this kind of the show, but, big stuff's going to be at E3. So I figured that, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Hit. What do you feel?
The DuckTales remaster is my
Out of
high
nowhere,
point.
swimming in gold.
The funny thing is, I saw the tweets and I'm like, "What? DuckTales?" And then I went online and looked it up. But yeah, it got me really excited once I saw the announcement.
Oh,
As for disappointments, yeah, I can't really say anything. Just that they were holding back. It didn't seem like they had as much content as previous PAXs.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, console year, so we'll see.
Well, for me, it was my biggest. I don't know what I really liked that much. I'll tell you the biggest disappointment for me because I'm a Blizzard fan. Everyone knows that that's all I do is play Blizzard games. The Blizzard, like, out of nowhere, special new IP that no one's seen.
You know, okay, I'm sorry, I got to interject real quick because I just finished listening to your podcast
Oh,
from
did you really?
last week and how excited
I was
you
so
were.
excited.
Oh my god! And I'm just like laughing my ass off the
I
entire
cried.
time.
I
Dude,
literally
he's gonna
cried.
play Magic the Gathering.
Oh,
Yay.
dude, a
Aw,
card
can I
game?
trade cards with
A
you?
card game, Blizzard. Is this where we're at in this fucking world? I mean, I can't even get a good game out of Blizzard anymore. I don't even know what to do with myself. I gotta get out of this. I need a new hobby. So if anyone didn't hear it, it's Blizzard's new game, which it's what's called
I think it's called
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. Yeah.
And I can't remember the other title because I don't give a shit. It's got like a whole subtitle and everything. Don't give a shit. I don't care. And I guess it was the problem was they build this game as a new IP. It's not a sequel. It's brand new, something they've never done before. But it's not. It's World of Warcraft. It's the card game that they've had for the last like 6 years that they discontinued, and they just made it digital. And they were like, "All right, buy our shit." And fuck you, Blizzard. Fuck you. That's what I say to that. And now my subscription to World of Warcraft has been canceled. No, it's not. I can't stop it. I can't stop
Did
it.
you really think they were going to announce something outside of BlizzCon?
No, I mean, I guess
No, he did.
it's my own.
You should have heard.
It's
Did you
me,
You
listen to the
fell for your
podcast?
own trap.
Did you listen? How
I did.
excited he
it's
was.
me being so hopeful, like that they're gonna, for whatever reason, for the first time in history, Blizzard's gonna decide to like announce a huge game, and instead they're like, "Psych! This is stupid shit. Here you go. I dare you to buy it. I dare you to buy it. I dare you." And now I'm afraid I will buy it. I'm afraid. No, I won't. So that was my biggest disappointment, and I don't know. Fuck Blizzard. What happened to that company? God damn it. What about you, Tiff? What was your favorite thing there?
My favorite thing was playing 30 minutes of The Last of Us. And it
Really?
was surprisingly exciting, and the time flew by. Absolutely my favorite 30 minutes of PAX.
Wow. What was the biggest disappointment then?
Not getting to be able to play BioShock Infinite or get any hands-on with it at all.
That is odd. I have to agree with you there.
It's a good thing, Tiff. You got a wedding coming up. You don't want to play that game right now.
You got shit to do.
Trust me.
You got no time. There's no BioShock in your future. Well, you can play it now, like every 15 minutes per day until the wedding, maybe. I don't know.
I can't play a game for just 15 minutes.
No, neither can I. Maybe you might have to postpone things for a while. Play some BioShock. Stretch
There's
that
an
wedding
idea.
out.
You could
Stretch
play it
out.
on your honeymoon. You know,
There
what
you
else
go.
you got going on?
Yeah, there's nothing else.
Exactly.
There's nothing else happening. You're fine.
Totally getting a games case to take with us on our honeymoon.
Ah!
This is gonna be the greatest honeymoon ever. We're gonna sit in our rooms and I'm gonna play BioShock. It's gonna be great.
I'm liking this idea.
Yeah, to
Those
me,
new
hey,
games
that's a
cases
great-
look nice
that's a
with
great
the
honeymoon. I
17-inch in
think
them.
that's great. Yeah,
They had
exactly.
those
There you
all
go.
over the floor. They were nice.
There you go.
Did you register somewhere where maybe you could get a games thing?
I don't know. I wonder if I can add one to our
that-
Amazon
add that
registry.
on.
I bet you could.
Yeah, that
I'm
on
gonna go look right now.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Imagine playing that by the pool.
That would be so awesome.
That would be awesome and extremely sad at the same time.
Yes,
it's like
I
this
know.
weird, like, yeah, it's weird. Anyway, good stuff. Good stuff. It seemed like a good show. It seemed like people had fun. I'm super excited for E3. This was sort of like the fluffer, as we call it in the industry.
Wow.
The fluffer before the big show. That's what it was. So E3 has now got to put out, as it were, to keep in line with that. And we'll see what happens. It'll be kind of interesting. But yeah, long show. Sorry for the hour and 20-minute show, but it's PAX. We got to talk. We got to be long-winded, unfortunately. If this was E3, it'd be a 7-hour show. So just thank God
Yes,
it's not.
true.
It would.
Just you wait.
Yeah, just you wait. You want to see us babble for a really long period of time and talk about nothing. End of June. Get ready. Get some popcorn. Thanks everyone for coming out on the show. Next week we have 1 million topics now that we've like banked and saved up. So now we just got to pick one. We got like 8 million topics.
I like this.
I know, it's weird. We have content. It's bizarre.
Usually we're like, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah, we just like wait for Hit to like fall asleep and then we, finally figure something out. Anyway, if they want to hit you up, LB, where can they find you? How do they know where you are? They want to contact you.
Well, you can get me on the Twitter at LBSUTKE, and that's also my Xbox Live gamer tag, my Steam account ID, and my PSN ID.
God, you're all over the place. You're so hip with
I'm
technology.
everywhere.
Elby, you're on PSN?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go. You got a brother in arms.
I-
Hitman. I don't know why they want to contact you, but they
You can follow me on Twitter, Xbox Live, and PSN at i6hitman, and my gaming live stream channel at twitch.tv/Watchtower Games. Even though I only stream for Tool to Play now, I don't even stream on that channel anymore. But yeah.
And
You can follow
don't
me on that channel.
forget to watch his quick hits.
Oh yeah, the quick
I'm calling it quick
I'm
hits
actually
from
really
now
liking
on.
that title, eh? Quick
the quick
hits.
hits.
Quick
Quick
hits.
tips
We
of
should make
hit.
it like H1T.
Exact. Yes.
Ah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. Brand yourself. Get it in there. You're like the Nike of nothing, really. I don't know. Maybe video games. I don't know. But you got a brand. You got a brand. So get on Tool to Play. Check out his quick hits. Go to his channel. Do all that stuff. Subscribe. Like. Fist. I don't know.
Comments.
Is that a new thing? Fist.
Sorry.
Fisting. It's okay. With that, Tiff, where can they find you?
You can find me just about anywhere under Electrify.
There you go.
With
So
a
you don't,
K.
she doesn't even need to tell you.
Twitter, PSN, Xbox. I don't even know where else. Pinterest. I
Pinterest.
mean, you know.
I like that Pinterest. You want to see some
Instagram.
art?
Instagram.
There you
Yeah.
go. Great. That's great. That's good stuff. We'll do everything Instagram now. It'll be great. If you want to find me, I'm pretty much everywhere as well under Dude I Rock, DOODIROCK. I am not on PSN because I'm poor. But if you'd like to buy me a PS3, I have a game I want to play this summer, June 14th. So if you feel like you want to hear my review of that game, you send me a PS3 and I send you love back. You can check out my review whenever you send me that PS3. Until then, we will see you guys next week. Thanks everyone for coming. And yeah, good times. Later.